Hi there! In the last video, we discussed gathering inspiration from photos and how referencing them and using them as guides while drawing can help improve our art significantly. This leads me to talking about other type of influences we have as artists, primarily inspiration from other artists. What many artists would consider their style is simply the culmination of all their influences and habits they've formed in their work over the years. While style can certainly be a conscious choice we make, many beginning artists often fixate too much on creating a signature style for themselves before they've mastered any of their fundamentals yet. Part of this, I believe, comes from social media. As we share our work with a wider audience as we learn, we gather followers who might be drawn to our artwork for a specific reason, and thus we feel compelled to give them more of that. While there's nothing wrong with this necessarily, I do warn young artists to beware of stagnating with your art and not experimenting as much. There may also be pressure to make a definitive voice for yourself early on because social media can often reward consistency. But remember, our goal here is to improve as artists, first and foremost. And when your skills are there, your audience will come. So I encourage you to experiment and try drawing in different styles of different artists you enjoy. Your style is, your true style, I should say, will evolve naturally from it. As style is what happens when your influences meet your eye. So take what you like from the artists you like. All art is related and nothing comes from nothing. There's this great quote I see all around that I don't know who to attribute to, but it's called "steal like an artist," and that's something that this is referring to.
With that being said, let me tell you a bit about my influences. As you could probably guess, I love animated films, and Disney and Pixar movies were among some of my earliest sources of inspiration. I loved the expressiveness of the characters and how alive they felt, and how they were capable of subtle emotional acting. I loved the same things about Don Bluth movies, and the fluidity of his animation and the dramatic acting and lighting. I loved the comic pages too in the Sunday paper. I would try to redraw them myself. I especially loved Calvin and Hobbes, and I collected all the books when I was young, and I still have them, and they're all well worn and dog-eared. I love the whimsical worlds Dr. Seuss created in his books, as well as the simple scribbly drawings of Shel Silverstein in books like The Missing Piece or Where the Sidewalk Ends. All of these and more inform my artwork in some conscious or unconscious ways.
For my book, 21 Terrifying Monsters, for example, I knew early on the monsters would be somewhat Muppety looking, as I wanted the book to be for children. I knew I wanted it to be colorful and funny looking, so I designed the characters with humor in mind. Now, since the humans aren't the focal point of the story and it's the monsters instead, I drew the humans in a more simple style with dot eyes that would contrast like the more Muppety looking monsters with big bug eyes. For Emmy the robot, I took a more clean approach with neat line work that doesn't look as sketchy. I wanted the characters to be fairly simple but very distinct. Because I knew people would be looking at them on their phones and tablets, I designed them with bigger, more expressive eyes that could read clearly on a smaller screen. I knew I wanted a style that felt retro-modern, so I looked to some childhood favorites for inspiration, such as Disney's 101 Dalmatians, and cartoons such as Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or Powerpuff Girls. And then I looked back even further to their influences in the 1950s and 60s Chuck Jones and UPA shorts, which made use of very limited budgets with simple, stylish backgrounds and iconic-looking characters with heavily stylized shapes. While these have all influenced the way I draw my books or comics, I'm not trying to directly emulate them or fool people into thinking they're done by the same people. I'm taking the art I love and making it my own, and you'll do the same. If you like manga and anime, then your style may be anime influenced. If you like realism, then that may change the course of your style as well. If you like simple blob-like characters with dot eyes, then that's fine too. Whatever style you feel will tell your story best and that you enjoy making is the right choice. However, just be aware of the time and resources you'll be able to put into your work when you have deadlines. So until you have them, explore to your heart's content and your style will find you. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.